Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it.
Mud, Microbes, and Medicine is a memoir of reinvention, but it never feels neatly prepackaged. Elizabeth Aden begins with the rupture of an early, stifling marriage, and follows that break into graduate school, fieldwork in what was then the New Hebrides, painstaking hepatitis B research on mallow, and eventually a striking rise through biotech and global pharma leadership. What gives the book its shape is not simple career ascent, though, but the way curiosity keeps dragging her forward into harder and stranger terrain. A scene as comic as her arrival in a safari Barbie outfit on a remote island sits beside the slow, exacting labor of gathering blood samples and behavioral observations, work that eventually helped explain how chronic HBV infection was being transmitted in infants through intimate, ordinary caregiving behaviors. Aden writes with a brisk, unembarrassed clarity that lets the absurdity of life show itself without much coaxing. She's funny in a dry, self-implicating way, especially when she recounts her own naivete, whether she's blurting out the wrong thing on arrival, imagining Pacific fieldwork as a sun-drenched fantasy, or learning business, contracts, and drug development on the fly. That candor makes the book feel lived rather than curated. I also liked that the memoir resists the usual triumphalist glaze. Her progress comes with loneliness, bad judgment, professional bruising, gendered disrespect, and the kind of fatigue that success stories usually airbrush away. Even when she rises quickly in biotech and pharma, the tone stays grounded, as if she still can't quite believe where saying yes, and sometimes refusing to behave as expected, has taken her. The author makes a persuasive case that science without cultural attention is half-blind. Her HBV work is the clearest example. The breakthrough does not arrive as abstract lab brilliance alone, but through patient attention to who holds a child, who feeds a child, who sleeps beside a child, and how everyday life carries risk in ways a cleaner, more conventional hypothesis could miss. That interplay between anthropology and epidemiology gives the memoir real intellectual voltage. I found the chapter-end lessons explicit. The lived material is often richer than the distilled takeaway, and I trusted the story more than the summary. This is a book written by someone who has spent a lifetime extracting meaning from mess, and there's something moving in that habit. I found Mud, Microbes, and Medicine invigorating precisely because it is not only about achievement. It's about learning how to move through bewilderment without becoming smaller, and how a life can be built from nerve, improvisation, intellect, and a refusal to accept the script handed to you. I closed it feeling I'd been in the company of a mind that is restless, capable, sometimes bruised, often funny, and unmistakably alive. I'd recommend it especially to readers who like memoirs with real intellectual substance, to women in science or business, and to anyone drawn to books about fieldwork, medicine, and the unruly ways a life can unfold.
Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.